we started with talking about how we hear so many different things. And so I want you to understand that what we hear, right? What we're feeding ourselves, what we're hearing impacts and affects us in a big way, right? So if I remember, and I know we had this conversation, but like even during COVID when, it was, of course, it was a new virus. There was so much unknown, but anytime, you would hear the news and you would hear all the deaths and the increase. I mean, that created a very stressful and anxious time in many people's lives, right? So there was a lot going on. So I want you to think about that. Not that everything is bad, but I want you to think about, okay, if you're in a state of mind where you're feeling down, you're depressed, you're anxious, what are you hearing? What are you feeding yourself? Because we're going to go into a story in the Bible where there's a big difference where people are hearing the same things, but their reaction is very different, right? They're hearing the same things, yes, but their reaction is totally different. And so no matter what you face, no matter what you go through, are you preparing yourself with what you're feeding yourself with, what you're hearing, what you're reading, what you're seeing to be able to combat those moments in your life, right? And so that's really where we wanted to kind of break that down for you. We know that in the Word of God, it says, right, that faith comes by hearing, right? Hearing the word, but not everyone's going to receive it. And why? Because they're just hearing, it goes one ear out the other. They're just listening to the words and the sounds of the words. They're not listening, but they're not listening. But what I'm saying biblically, the word hear means to listen. That's exactly what it means. So they're just people that are not receiving it. They're just hearing the sounds. They're hearing the worldly definition of what hear is. But hearing biblically is actually listening, right? And so that's why God says that not everybody's going to receive it, right? Because they listened, they heard the sounds, the words that came out of someone's mouth, but they weren't listening. They didn't receive them.
They didn't grab hold.
They didn't.